Hey second graders, my name is Miss Bahar and I am another second grade teacher at Woodland. So in front of me I have a lot of pencils. As I was cleaning up my classroom, I saw I had all these pencils in my cabinets and I just wanted to know how many I had. So I thought, let me put them all out here and just count them. So I guess I'll go ahead and get started. So 1, 2, 3, 4, oh my gosh. This is gonna take so long. Maybe I should try to make some groups and that'll make things easier. So let me try maybe 2. So maybe I can make like groups of 2 and I'll like tie them up. That's a 2, this is another 2. Well, I think that's still gonna take a really long time to make these groups of 2. Okay, maybe that's not the way to do it. Okay. No. Well, so I know how to skip count by 2. Well, what about 3? Maybe I can make groups of 3. So that's 3. So I would go like 3, and then that's another 3. So I go like 3, 6. Wait a second. I don't know how to skip count by 3. Groups of 3 won't work either. All right, so somebody suggested that maybe I could make groups of 10 since we know how to skip count by 10, and that would be a more efficient strategy than trying to make groups of 2 or 3. So let me try that. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so I've got group of 10. Gotta rubber band it up. Okay, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so I made all these groups of 10 and I had 3 loose ones. So these weren't able to make 10, so I'm just gonna put them aside for now, and I think I'm gonna focus on counting my groups of 10. So please help me out with this. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Wait a second. So I realized, and some of you realized too, that I just made 100. So instead of having to count all these 10s, I can make a group of 100, and that'll make things even more efficient. So I can count my groups of 100 and then see how many 10s I have left. So let me grab a big rubber band to make my group of 100. I do have a lot of 10s here, so I'm gonna make this like my pile of hundreds. So let's see if I'm able to make another one. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Oh, okay, another one. So let me put these together. Okay, so I've got 200s now. Let's see how many 10s I have. Oh, it looks like one of my groups of 10 had a broken rubber band. So I'm gonna just reclose that and see if I can make another 100 or not. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. All right, no, I don't have any more 10s to make 100, but now I have some groups of 100, some groups of 10, and then I also have these 3 ones left over. So now I gotta figure out what is the best way to figure out the total number of pencils now that I've made these groups. So when I'm thinking of how to count the total number of pencils, I think it makes the most sense to start with the biggest groups. So I'm going to start with my hundreds. So I have 1, 2, I have 2 hundreds. So 2 hundreds, I'm going to go ahead and just write that on my chart so I remember that I have 2 hundreds. And what's the value of 2 hundreds? Let me check. So it's 100, 200. Okay. So 2 hundreds has a value of 200, okay? Now let me check on my tens. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tens. I'm gonna put a plus sign since I'm adding these together. So I have 7 tens. Now I gotta figure out what is the value of 7 tens. So like how much is 7 tens? So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. All right, so 7 tens is the same as 70. All right, so now I just got to include my ones. Can't forget about them. So let's see, I had 1, 2, 3 ones, and the value of 3 ones is just 3. I'm gonna write 3. So now that I've got this, I've got to figure out how do I put it all together? What is the total amount if I put together 200, 7 tens, and 3 ones? Or if I add 200 plus 70 plus 3? So one way we can check is just counting the pencils again. And starting with the hundreds and just counting on. Before I was counting just the hundreds, then just the tens, then just the ones. But let me just try and keep counting when I start from the hundreds. So what I mean is I'll go 100, 200, and then now let me just keep going, skip counting the tens. So 200, 210, help me if you can, 220, 230, 240, 250, 260, 270. Right now I got my ones and I want to keep going. So I was at 270, 271, 272, 273. All right, so now I know I'm going to put equal signs. My grand total is 273 pencils. Wow, So looking at what I've written here, I'm noticing some patterns. Do you? Thanks for helping me count all these pencils today. I hope you learned something. I know I did. See you next time.